All right.
Back again.
5280 Sports, guys.
Coming
I'm
at
your boy
ya.
MK.
And Brandon.
Boom. Hey, so we're going to touch the subject on this thing that's been blown out. I feel it's been blown out proportionally a little bit.
Oh, completely. Yeah.
But we're going to be talking national anthem. So
Sit
things
back,
we're going
hang
to
on,
cover.
get ready.
So just to let you know how this is going to kind of run, is things we're going to cover is facts, false, and somewhat of the origin, and then our opinions. Is kind of how we're going with this. Because I feel like we both have things to say on it, so that's kind of
Certainly
how we're
do.
going to address it. And if any of you people out there watching this are curious of where we're going to get some of this stuff from, it is actually the name of this video. Why are the NFL players on the sideline for the national anthem? So, getting into it, this article talks about the claim. Obviously, it goes to ratings, what's true, what's false, and then we go into origin. We're not going to go too much into origin because it's crazy. So, claim is NFL players did not stand for the national anthem until the defense department started paying the league staging patriotic display in 2009. That's the claim. What's true, NFL players were not required to be on the sidelines during the playing of the national anthem for primetime games prior to 2009. And then what the false statements are is players always had the option of standing on the sidelines during the national anthem, and there is no evidence that paid patriotism incentives began in 2009 required them to do so. So,
And one crazy thing I know, Mark Schlereth, one of the local radio hosts here, and big TV guy and all that, talks about during his career, he never even remembers being on the field for the national anthem. Up until like the late 90s, 2000s, he never even set foot on the field for a national anthem.
oh yeah?
So this is all really new.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's definitely new, because I can't remember when I was a kid watching football seeing this whole thing being just a display. And all
Baseball,
that
it's always been a big deal, the players being on the field for the national anthem and all that.
Mhm.
It's a baseball tradition,
And
it's not a
stuff.
football
Basketball as
tradition.
well.
Yes.
Because there was
Yeah.
a basketball player that started protesting, and they ended up mandating.
Did they?
Yeah, they ended up mandating. He left the NBA because of it.
No, he got...
Or, well, you know what I
he
mean?
got, yeah.
Like, he
And
basically was
you know
like...
what team he played for?
Was he Nuggets?
He was the Denver Nuggets. I can't remember, I think it was 70s or 80s or something, yeah.
I can't think of his name.
But then, yeah, he just like Kaepernick, out of the league.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, some of the origin stuff that I read on this article was that DOD started paying the NFL in 2009, and then looks like funding stopped or payments stopped towards the NFL roughly around 2015. And like I said, this article goes pretty in depth with it. So kind of with my whole opinion on it is that I fully support Colin Kaepernick, and if you got, viewers and stuff like that, if you disagree with me, that's fine. I'm not gonna get, I'm not gonna get whacked out of it, because I feel that that's your opinion to have, and I fully support it, especially being a veteran myself. What about you, Brandon?
I kind of like it as a veteran, because it's like, we go over there, we suffer, we do all this stuff to fight for people's rights, and no one's really using them. And these players decide to use their rights for peaceful protest, and it's like what we fight for to give them the ability to do this.
Yeah.
They're in China, North Korea, Russia. Their heads would probably be chopped off right now for going against the state.
Oh, yeah.
Where they're kind of doing this. I don't really like, sometimes when the players first start doing it or trying to decide and stuff, they don't have their stories together and they do this, and like reporters get on them. But then, like Brandon Marshall and Colin Kaepernick, gave them a week or two, and then they decided what they were going to do and all this, and had a real statement to go with it. Thought it was very strong. I like it. I kind of wonder if it's really the reason Kaepernick's in the league, or he's just not a very good quarterback. That one's a little debatable.
I
I'd probably take Kaepernick over Cutler right now, and a few little things like that. But
Brandon Whedon? You take Kaepernick over Brandon Whedon?
Where's he starting?
He's backup for Tennessee.
I don't know if you could have Kaepernick as a backup. He's a little too good.
You can have him
like
as
Tebow.
backup.
You can't have Tebow as a backup.
You can have Colin Kaepernick as a backup currently until he proves himself.
But you'd also have the right system, like
I know, but if
a
you
quarterback,
think about it,
like he could look good in Kansas City right now with the way he's running and gunning.
And I guess where I'm getting at,
do well there.
Where I'm getting at with it is that you brought up the statement of like you don't know if he's out of the league because of his talent or because of the issue. And what I'm saying is that and then you also said that he should be a starter. So you're saying that he's talented enough to be a starter, but you're not too sure if that's where the NFL stands on it.
I think he's borderline being a starter.
I honestly think that he's borderline being a starter, but absolutely 100% backup QB.
But you get to the point where there's such a big character and everything, like personalities kind of larger than life.
Yeah.
He's either got to start or not be on the team.
Well, and
because he'll be drawing too much attention from reporters.
Right, and that's what I was saying. That's where I would piggyback on is what you said is that. So the issue I have with Colin Kaepernick in general is that to me personally, he's out of the league because of his protest from last year, and I think that his protest from last year is a huge distraction, because there's claims that he's been doing this for some time, and it only got brought up last season. And I think it only got brought up last season because he was a backup quarterback. He wasn't starting. So, going with that is that these teams, they sit there and say these claims, oh, we picked up this quarterback because of familiarity, stuff like that, this and this. I think the only team who brought it up was...
Cap?
Yeah, brought up Kaepernick
Seattle.
of being... No. That was them talking about actually signing him. There's a team that brought him up saying that the reason we don't want him on the team is because we don't want the distraction. And that's 100% true. I would 100% agree with you that you don't want somebody on the team that's going to cause a distraction. I get that. Be real with it. Don't say, oh, we picked up Brandon Whedon because of familiarity.
I almost think the Cleveland owner said we would not sign him because of this. So there was one owner. I almost think it was Cleveland. It was someone, yeah.
That's 100% honest.
Yeah.
You're being truthful, and that's fine because that's your opinion.
His right to protest,
exactly,
his right not to sign him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But don't say, "Oh, we didn't sign Colin Kaepernick because of familiarity. We signed Brandon Whedon because of familiarity, or we, signed." I think they were talking Jay Cutler.
And some of these guys that get signed,
and that's
like
legit.
Whedon, he's better at holding a clipboard. He'll be better in the meetings. He's like not threatening to the starting quarterback.
Right.
You're not worried about Brandon Whedon taking your job.
I think somebody brought that up.
Yeah.
Brandon Whedon's really good at holding the clipboard.
There's look at Hasselbeck. He probably made $14 million holding a clipboard behind freaking Andrew Luck. Just like, you're doing a great job, man. Keep going.
And if some of you people aren't really aware of what's really going on, a lot of people are bringing up that what's happening is this flag is getting disrespected and the military is getting disrespected. These players taking a knee or sitting or whatever they choose to do, I think kneeling is the proper way to go about it. But these players that are doing a silent protest, they're not disrespecting anything. And the thing that they're standing up for is equality and injustice and police brutality. That is the statement they're trying to bring up. And you can sit there and go, oh, what are they doing for the community? What are they doing for the community? Research it. Go out there, find out what they're doing for the community. Because you can find out. Cam Newton, who is a superior athlete, is a great quarterback, very well known. He works with the youth. Most of these players have some sort of youth program. Like, they do things for the community. So if you're trying to figure out what these players are doing, just look it up. Try and find something. If you don't find anything, that doesn't mean that they're not doing something. That means that the media is not putting it out there because they want it to seem like, oh, they're just taking a knee. That's all they're doing. They're just taking a knee. I promise you that Colin Kaepernick, Marshawn Lynch, these guys, Brandon Marshall, these guys that are protesting, they're doing stuff for the community. I know that there's
unbelievable stuff. That's why Oakland doesn't care that he's taking a knee.
I know that there is a man, there's a player that's actually working with the police departments, I believe in Denver.
It's Marshall. Yeah, and he started standing again because he liked the way things were going. And
Okay. Yeah,
like
so
mission
that stuff,
accomplished.
and you know,
plus he lost
that stuff gets
hundreds
brought
of
up
thousands of dollars
locally.
in sponsors.
Well, that stuff
Lon
gets
Miller
brought up.
lost
that
lots of
stuff gets-
sponsors.
Yeah, that stuff gets brought up locally, but not nationally, and so it's like, all you got to do is really look into what these guys are doing.
And I know Kaepernick, when they met with that Ranger who tried to get in the NFL,
Yeah.
after his protest and they came out with a good statement, he gave $1.2 million to charities. And he was only making $10 million, so that's 1/10 of his salary he gave away to charities.
Kaepernick did?
Yeah.
Oh, see,
Yeah,
that's stuff
he
I didn't
said,
know
I'm
about.
gonna do this, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah,
You know,
so,
the first couple weeks when it came up, he wasn't that good with his statement, but they went, that's
Well, I
what he
mean-
was sitting to, and then they said,
Yeah.
I'll take a knee, and this is what I'm gonna do.
And the reason he decided to take a knee is that he got with an Army vet, and the Army vet had basically brought up how
I think he was a beret too,
funeral-
not a Ranger.
Okay,
Yeah,
I just know he was in the Army.
yeah.
But he brought up how the funeral ceremonies go in the military and stuff like that, and that's how he. And again, this is stuff you can find. This is stuff that you can look up and search. The internet's portrayed. You know, the internet's full of information. It just depends on how deep you dig to get what you're looking for. Like, I could sit there and come up with a claim. I mean, just going off side note right now, but this Dove commercial is coming up. I could take that same image, flip it around, and make it completely different. Make the context completely different based off an image. That's just the type of stuff that, this is how the internet works. You can take something and you can flip it and turn it into whatever you want. There's a picture going on. Have you seen it? Seattle. In their locker room, they Photoshop a flag game burned in the locker room.
Oh,
And
yeah?
that's spreading around on the internet.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're the ones who wanted to sign the Green Beret or Ranger
Yeah.
because he had done his time. Then the NCAA gave him an exemption to play in the NCAA since he was over doing his service. He was too
Yeah.
old. They gave him the exemption to play. And then Seattle was the only team that picked him up and gave him a tryout. And he made it to the final cut. He didn't make the team, but
Right.
he got close as a long snapper.
But that's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
There's a picture floating around
Yeah.
right now. Seattle's team's in the locker room burning an American flag.
No kidding.
How?
And I wonder why they want to take a knee in protest.
Yeah, exactly. How ridiculous is that?
Oh,
Anyways,
did you hear that Jerry Jones statement?
yeah, and so this is where I kind of have. So this is my issue. So I do have an issue with this.
Okay.
My
Let's hear
my issue with this whole thing is the reason. Like I said, the reason these players are taking a knee and sitting down is because equality and injustice, the police brutalities, all these things are going on. Now, what happened a couple weeks ago with the teams and the owners and all this stuff, I'm not in support of that. Reason being is because the agenda was missed in that. The agenda was that we're going to stick it to Trump. The agenda was not the same agenda of what these players are sitting for. It's Trump said something, put his hands in the NFL, and everybody gathered together. Because if it was, hold on a second, if it was about the same thing that these players are taking a knee and sitting down for, if it was about police brutality and justice, they would keep doing it. No, it was to stick it to Trump because Trump put his nose into the NFL, and the NFL owners didn't like that.
And I thought they went soft too. They all should have taken a knee.
Right, exactly.
Or like what the Pittsburgh Steelers did.
Yeah.
Everyone should just went into the locker rooms.
Yeah.
Not even been out there for it. None of the games.
And,
Or owners should have taken a knee so it wasn't just one color.
although Jerry Jones did take a knee with the Dallas Cowboys.
With Donald Trump?
No, with the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, before, but then they stood for the national anthem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
So yeah, they should have taken a knee for the actual anthem.
But that's my issue with it, is when politics got involved, when Donald Trump put his hands in his
Well,
nose
that's a
into this-
whole nother thing I could get into because I pay attention to the politics.
I know.
And that's just him trying to distract from his health care bill failing.
Oh, no. Fully
Wall's
100%.
not happening.
Fully 100% distraction. I totally agree
FBI
with you.
meetings like summons were going on that day.
I totally agree
yeah.
with you in that. I totally agree with you. It was completely 100% distraction. No,
Yeah.
100%. I'm just saying that what the NFL, the retaliation the NFL did, missed the mark. So that's why you lose fans. That's why all these things, all this ripple effect that's happened after that, after 2 weeks ago, that's the effect of the distraction that happened. But it was the owners going, no, we're going to stick it to the president because we're unity. That it wasn't the same of what Colin Kaepernick, Marshawn Lynch, Brandon Marshall are doing.
I guess
it
I almost have my
point.
own thing about the ratings too. Football's getting a little oversaturated on TV with being on 3 nights a week now.
Yeah.
You know, Thursday night, Sunday night, and Monday. So it's almost getting a little too much. And let's face it, Thursday games are awful.
Yeah.
For the most part, they are bloody awful. Teams don't have time to prepare. They're pain. It's a whole nother thing.
Right.
And then with the parity and the late, like, training camps from the new CBAs, it really is like the first 4 of the games are really the preseason. They're still kind of getting things together, getting in football shape.
Yeah.
So the teams aren't even in shape for the first 4 games.
Right.
And they just kind of look like garbage. And with the parity and, like, the salary cap and, like, all the teams being so much kind of equal and, like, changing up who's the powerful teams and who's not, you don't even know what the good games are going to be. So the ones they line up for prime time, like everyone thought the Giants were going to be great this year. They're a hot mess. They're just straight up garbage from day one.
Yeah.
And everyone was picking them for a Super Bowl favorite.
Right.
And the Bills, who knew the Bills were going to be so good?
Yeah.
And I don't even know. The other team, Pittsburgh, who knew they were going to be garbage?
One of the ones that throw me off.
You're right? Jacksonville, yeah.
Whoa.
So, like, they line up these primetime games, and then you're like, what? Who's good?
Yeah.
We have the 2 worst teams in the league playing on Monday night now.
Yeah, it's totally true.
That's not helping ratings either, but
No,
that's the advanced data right there that you get from the 5280 Sports guys.
Exactly. No, that's I don't know. I agree with you, but I mean, in my side conversation out with community and stuff like that, I've asked numerous people like, oh hey,